Good evening, children. Yesterday, we started with our new topic, microbes in human welfare. We discussed about microbes, and I had briefed you yesterday, children, that the entire chapter would be running under the headings which are 6 in number, that is, use of microbes in household products, which I completed with you yesterday. And I started with the second also yesterday, that is, use of microbes in industrial products. Under household products, children, we discussed about curd, yogurt, cheese, the dough making for various recipes or foods. Then we talked about sausages, fermented vegetables and fish, SCP or single cell protein, toddy, other foods. In the second heading, as I started yesterday, was microbes in industrial production. We discussed about various alcoholic beverages, what is a bioreactor, and three important terms we discussed: mash, wort, and wash. Then our topic that we took yesterday was antibiotics, definition, various sources, broad spectrum, action of antibiotics, characteristics of an ideal antibiotic, sources, then semi-synthetic antibiotics, and judicious use of antibiotics. Today, I am still on the second heading, children. That is, we are still going to start today with our use of microbes in industrial production. But today we'll talk about some new headings like organic acids, enzymes, and other bioactive molecules. So let us start our new topic. Use of microbes in production of organic acids, enzymes, and other bioactive molecule production. Under organic acids, we have some 5 types to discuss. First is acetic acid, what we also call as vinegar. Second is lactic acid. Third, citric acid. Fourth, butyric acid or butanoic acid. And fifth is gluconic acid. Now, children, when we are discussing about these organic acids, please make sure that you have 3 important points to understand. Number 1, what is the mentioned source of production of organic acid? That is, what do we require to make it? Then, very important is which microbe is being used, and the product obtained, where is it used in industry. So let us talk about the first one, acetic acid. This is the commercial acetic acid. We can say it is produced from fermented alcohol with the help of acetic acid bacteria, which is called as Acetobacter aceti. The acetic acid or vinegar, that is 10 to 15% in alcohol composition, is prepared and is very important industrially. Coming to the second organic acid is lactic acid. Now, this is obtained from potato, starch, corn, molasses, and whey. The microbe that we use is lactic acid bacteria, which is called Streptococcus lactis. Remember, children, Streptococcus means we can say straight chain like structures, and coccus means spherical bacteria. So the first is Streptococcus lactis, second could be Lactobacillus bulgaricus, and third is a fungus. So these two, they are the bacterial microbes, but the last one is a fungus called Rhizopus. The lactic acid that is produced is used in pharmaceuticals, that is medicines, fruit juices preparation, confectionery, pickles, canned foods, etc. Now, it is notable to understand here, this is very, very important to know, that the lactic acid that is produced by the fungal source is of a very high purity but very costly, right? So, comparatively, this is better over the microbes, that is bacteria. So, fungus is always an upper hand to give the higher quality in purity as well as it's more costly. The third organic acid is citric acid. Citric acid is produced by the fermentation that is provided by Aspergillus niger and Mucor pyriform, or nowadays that is used by yeast. We call it as Candida lipolytica. In this case, the sugary syrups like cane and beet molasses are used. Sometimes we use commercial glucose, starch, sucrose, etc. Right? Now, as I said, children, though we have a choice of Aspergillus niger, Mucor pyriform, or the Candida lipolytica, the yeast, but this is the one that is used nowadays on one condition, that the food or the nutrient medium should be deficient in iron and manganese. Now, the citric acid that is produced is used in dyeing, engraving, pharmaceuticals, inks, flavoring, and preservation of foods and candies. Coming next to fourth acid, that is butyric acid or butanoic acid. Now, this is produced by fermentation by the microbe that is Clostridium butyricum, and this is the only thing mentioned in the textbook. The source and all, they are not required, so they are not mentioned at all, right? So please restrict to the only microbial name. Fifth is gluconic acid, and this is obtained by fermentation that is provided by Aspergillus niger and Penicillium species. Right? Now, an industrial product we call as calcium gluconate. This is used, now from this is a derivative of gluconic acid only, and this is used industrially as a source of calcium for infants, that is children below 2 years of age, cows, and lactating mother. Then also the compound is used in preparation of pharmaceuticals. Alright, so here we have, children, this entire page we complete with the organic acids. I hope I have very simply, in a very simple way, I have tried to explain it. Remember 3 things. What is the source that is being used to obtain the acid that you are producing by various steps given, what are the utility, and most importantly, the name of the microbe that is being used. Right? Equations and all are not very important that are given. I'll just show you in the textbook. In the textbook, you have equations like this. Like for this is like acetic acid. So not necessary that you just cram up or try practicing, but the same can be simplified. Coming to same number 2 industrial utility only, but we are starting with enzymes. Enzymes, they are also called as biocatalyst, and they are all proteins in nature. They are all proteinaceous. There's a name we have to understand, William Kuhne, in the year 1867, who coined the term enzyme. And to be more specific, there are some over 22,000 enzymes that have been known till today, but only 1 to 1.5% they have been used in industries. All right. So which enzymes we are going to talk? Let us begin one by one. There are by and large some 8 enzymes in your course. So I'm going to start with the first one. The first enzyme we call as proteases or proteolytic enzyme. These are obtained from the microbes that we can say Aspergillus species and Bacillus species. And what are these proteases? See, always remember, children, most of the enzymes, they end up with the suffix ase. This is as per the naming rules that we have. So when we say protease, etc., lipase, etc., they will hint that they are enzymes. What are the uses of proteases? They degrade proteins and polypeptides. Degrade means to break down proteins, and poly means many, and peptide is the linkage between amino acids. Then they enhance the tenderness or softness of meat industrially. Third, in the extraction of fish liver oil. Fourth, clarification of alcoholic drinks. Fifth, softening of cheese and bread. Sixth, synthesis, that is manufacture of glue. Seventh, cleaning of hides. Eighth, degumming of silk. It's a very new term, degumming. That means removal of gum, that is silk gum. We call it as sericin. And when this is removed, This improves the texture, colors, shine, etc. of the silk. So this is something extra that I am giving you, not mentioned in your textbook. That degumming, you may not understand. It is removal of the silk gum sericin. And the moment it is removed from silk, it improvises its color, texture, shine, etc. So that's all about the first enzyme called proteases. Moving to the second enzyme, where we have lipases. Now, this means lipid digesting enzymes. I told you children, ase means enzyme and lipase means they will digest the lipids. Here, just like I said, proteases means they were digesting proteins, right? Similarly, here lipases means they are going to digest lipids. So, which microbes are used? These are Candida lipolytica and Geotrichum candidum. So, this enzyme lipase is manufactured and used in flavoring cheese, hydrolyzing oils for soap manufacture, and in detergent formulations. It also is used in removing oily stains. Coming to the third enzyme, we call them as pectinases. The microbe used are Aspergillus niger and Bisoclamis fulva. These are the fungi that are grown on pectin containing media, and the enzymes that are pectinases, they are used for clearing bottled fruit juices, retting of fibers, and preparation of green coffee, right? Then amylases, these are starch digesting enzymes. The microbes used for production are Aspergillus oryzae, Aspergillus niger, Mucor, and Bacillus subtilis. So any of them they are used, and they're used in softening and sweetening of bread, desizing the fibers, and flavoring of soft drinks, clearing starchy stains from utensils and clothes. So not all uses you must cram up children, but try to ensure that at least 2 to 3 uses you must learn for all the enzymes mentioned. Moving to the next enzyme, the fifth enzyme, we have a category of 3 to be discussed together: amylase, glucoamylases, and glucoisomerases. All the 3, they are, let's say we can, yes, these are employed or used in the conversion of corn starch into fructose-rich corn syrup. Now we know children, like see I have written here the note, fructose is the sweetest of all sugars. So the corn syrup is sweeter than sucrose solution. That is, the syrup that is produced by the production of these enzymes is even sweeter than sucrose solution, the sugar solution, right? And for this reason, this is used in sweetening and flavoring of soft drinks, biscuits, cakes, etc. Coming next is number 6, rennet. This enzyme is we can say like an extract. It is obtained from the stomach of calf, and the extract that we obtain is called as rennet because it has an enzyme called renin. It is used in the preparation of cheese. Coming next is the 7th enzyme, and we call it as streptokinase. This is very important children. Please try to understand very clearly for your exams. Streptokinase is also called as TPA. TPA, all in capitals, which means tissue plasminogen activator. Now, in this children, this substance TPA is an enzyme that is produced by the microbe Streptococcus. Strepto means, once again, it's in the chain like structures, and this is spherical, therefore coccus. Now, the source is some of the hemolytic bacteria. So this bacteria is hemolytic. Hemo means blood cells and lytic means to rupture. That means this microbe has a capacity to break down the blood cells, and that's why it is used to make this enzyme called TPA. It is modified genetically, and very important, it is used as a clot buster. That means to dissolve blood clots in blood vessels of patients who have myocardial infarction or heart attack. Usually patients that are of heart attack children, they die of blood clots, and therefore TPA is used to dissolve it and save the lives of patients. To end up the enzymes, the eighth and the last one is protein modifying enzyme, and this is modifying pig insulin to the substance that we call as humulin, and this is to be used in the human bodies, right? So we see here the importance of these 8 enzymes. You have to once again understand how they are being prepared, that is from what source, then what special uses they hold industrially, that you must please understand. If not all, at least 2 to 3 you must learn up very clearly and simply. So moving to the next category of bioactive molecules, we have only 2 bioactive molecules, children, to study. The first is again an important topic, children, cyclosporine A. Now this bioactive molecule is obtained from the microbe, which is a fungus called Trichoderma polysporum, right? It is a very important bioactive molecule, right? And this has various uses, which are antifungal, then anti-inflammatory, that is reduces inflammation, and it is used as an immunosuppressant or immunosuppressing agent in organ transplant. Suppose somebody's kidney is to be transplanted, right, or some other organ is to be, then in that case the donor's organ that is being given to the recipient's body may show reactions, right, because of immunity that might play the role, so that is suppressed. All right, and the second is another bioactive molecule called as statins. These are obtained from yeast that we call as Monascus purpureus. They inhibit or stop the enzyme responsible for synthesis of cholesterol. Cholesterol, I hope you all understand, is the waxy rich or fatty rich substance that is accumulated in arteries, and it gives a problem in blood pressure shooting up or maybe heart problems. So this is dissolved by the statins that bring down the cholesterol level. Then commercially, the commonly used statins are, see, look here, this vastatin is common to all names commercially. vastatin will be common to all, and the names are atorvastatin, second is simvastatin, third pravastatin, and fourth is lovastatin. So I hope these biologically active molecules you've understood, children. They are very important. Once again, cyclosporine A, that was used medicinally, we can say industrially, in antifungal properties, then anti-inflammatory, and as immunosuppressing agent in organ transplant. And the statins also is used to bring down the cholesterol level, right, and help the patients to become better. So children, we'll stop just now. I have taught point number 2 completely, right? That is microbes in industrial production is completed now, and my next video will be microbes in sewage treatment, which will be the third point of the lesson. So let us quickly have one look of what we did today before I wind up. We have completed the discussion about organic acids, and I have discussed about 5 organic acids. Then we also studied the enzymes, and we have discussed a total of 8 enzyme acids, 8 enzymatic products or biocatalysts, what we call. And finally, we discussed about 2 bioactive molecules, that is cyclosporine A and statins. So I'll stop here, and my third video would be part 3 that I'll continue with further topics. Thank you.